What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe. Welcome to the 456th episode of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Memorial Day. Let's go ahead and get started. If you live long enough, you'll sort of figure out that there are a lot of things in life that are overrated, underrated, and properly rated. Now, one example of something that is maybe overrated is carpet, right? It sounds simple, but carpet is very overrated, right? It's expensive, it's impossible to keep clean, and it's grossly overpriced, right? The only time you're actually glad you have carpet is maybe the first week. But after your dog has an accident on the carpet or you spill a drink on it, it's all downhill from there. You start to regret your decision to get carpet from wall to wall. An example of something that is underrated are quality gyms for men to work out at, right? There's a gym in Reno I used to work out at. And that, dude, it was dusty, it was smelly, didn't have brand new fancy equipment, didn't have carpet in the locker rooms, right? It smelled like sweaty jock straps all the time. But it is by far and away the very best gym I have ever been a member of because it directly caters to men. That gym and every other gym like that is grossly underrated. Now, you also have to take into account that circumstance also dictates value in terms of something overrated and underrated. For example, having a car in a place like New York City is definitely overrated because of the public transportation system and the sheer volume of people that live in such a small area, right? But the value of that same automobile in a rural area, like, say, rural North Carolina, that is certainly properly rated. In that, it's a fact that they are needed. Automobiles are needed, and everyone in that area knows this. It is properly rated. Another good example is air conditioning and cooling, or heating and air. An air conditioning unit is worth a lot more in Arizona than it is in Alaska. You guys get the idea. However, the very best example of a commodity that is grossly underrated and grossly undervalued are men. The world would have us believe that we as men are useless, we are obsolete, we're inept, we're dumb, we're stupid, and generally unnecessary, right? When in actuality, we are the very reason the world has made advances in science, medicine, and technology that makes life better for everyone. But men in America and in other Western countries are underrated and undervalued. At least that's what it appears to be. Now, on the opposite side of that particular spectrum, pardon me, is that women are grossly overvalued. They're not really good for too much outside of sex, which makes them as worth less as they've ever been in human history. Now, it didn't always used to be this way, guys, right? There were far more quality women back in the day. At least more than there are now, a lot more than there are now. So a woman's value was far greater than it is today. The interesting thing is that back then, women were undervalued, even though in a lot of cases they were quite literally the glue that held the family together. But women today are extremely overvalued and overrated, even though most of them bring nothing to the table but exorbitant notch counts, expensive habits, multiple children by multiple men, and a shitload of debt. But the one thing in 2019 that is by far and away the most overvalued, the most overrated commodity is the 4-year college degree. And wouldn't you know it, most people who hold these precious yet useless degrees are women. Educated women are frauds, gentlemen. Having a college degree, or as I like to call it, an education certificate of participation in this day and age is about as useful as having a GED. And I'm not exaggerating, guys. Not exaggerating. Women these days think that because they have this piece of paper, that it somehow makes them more intelligent than people who do not. And because women use inverse projection by exhibiting masculine qualities, masculine characteristics in an attempt to be attractive to men, they like to glorify their useless college degrees and believe that they are entitled to the best of everything else, including men. I'll give you a quick example. I worked for a small mattress company in Atlanta before I moved to Vegas. My job was to drive a 24-foot box truck, drop mattresses off at various locations, warehouses in the city, right? I deliver mattresses to customers, and I would deliver them to wholesalers. The man I worked for, guys, and trust me when I said this dude was nothing short of brilliance. His business acumen, his attention to detail, and his absolute rock solid frame, that earned my respect very quickly. To this day, I have never ever worked for anyone as smart as this guy, ever. You want to know what his education level was? Any guesses? Spoiler alert, he dropped out of high school after his sophomore year, and he never went back for his GED. Never went back for his GED. Now, I'm a pretty smart guy, right? I went to college and, I like to fashion myself a pretty intelligent individual, and it has nothing to do with my education. I still don't hold a candle to that high school dropout that I worked for in the ATL. Not even close. Just because you are educated does not mean you are intelligent. Just because you're educated does not mean you're smart. Women place too much value on education. They want us to believe that educated women are more sexually attractive than uneducated women. Guys, I'm here to tell you, women know damn well what we are physically attracted to. We as men, we like women who are fit. We like women who are in good shape. We like women who have long hair. We like women who dress like women in public and in private. None of this sweats and t-shirt bullshit at home. None of this jeans and a collared shirt nonsense out on dates. Now, notice I said attractive rather than beautiful, right? And just as a side note here, attractiveness has kind of a different definition when it comes to men in terms of what we're attracted to and aroused by. A man who is attractive is a man who has financial stability. It's a man who has a good job, a man who has a good home, etc., etc. I was actually listening to Max and Marcellus, a while back. This was actually right before, this was back in 2014. And they asked a woman if Steve Ballmer, who was in the midst of buying the Clippers after the NBA took the team away from Donald Sterling, they asked her, does money make a man attractive? She kind of paused for a second. She said, you know what? Yeah, money does make a man attractive, right? Steve Ballmer is an eyesore, guys. Google him. But because he's got money, he is attractive. Men who are arousing, on the other hand, are men who are ripped. Men who are in great shape, men who have tattoos, devil-may-care attitude, rides a motorcycle. You know the type. The long and the short of attractiveness versus arousal, as far as men are concerned, is that attractive men make good dads. Arousing men make good fathers. You guys do the math on that? Attractive men make good dads. Arousing men make good fathers. Okay? And if I have to explain that to you, like what the difference is, you're watching the wrong show. You need to watch Red Pill 101 on Rolla Tomasi's channel. Anyway, an attractive woman is not always a beautiful woman. You see, guys, beautiful women are women who hit the genetic lottery, right? They're women who hit the genetic lottery and didn't blow all their winnings on pizza, ice cream, cigarettes, drugs, liquor. Those things make beautiful women very, very ugly in a hurry, right? Attractive women, on the other hand, they're women who weren't born so lucky. Devin, could you make any more noise in there? Jesus Christ. She's in there making this big extravagant dinner. I know. First world problems, good girlfriend problems. No, as you were, go ahead. Make as much noise as you want. Fucking hell. Anyway, women who are attractive are women who weren't born so lucky, right? They're not naturally beautiful. Maybe they have below average looks. Maybe they're ugly ducklings, right? Maybe they're butterfaces. But these women bust their asses in the gym and they watch their diet. So guess what? They got rocking bodies, right? Listen, I'll use my girl. Oh, okay, she's making mashed. Okay, well, she's making mashed potatoes. That's why. All right. Anyway, listen, I'll use Devin as an example. Devin has unbelievable genetics. She has an unbelievable body for a woman in her mid-30s. She's got a great ass. She has long, beautiful, shapely legs, huge boobs that are still perky even at her age, and it's all wrapped in this hourglass shape. She's got the body of a porn star, guys, real talk, right? But Devin has maybe slightly above average looks, and maybe I'm being a little biased. She's definitely she's definitely far from ugly, but she is not breathtakingly beautiful either. But her body gives her at least a 2-point bump in her sexual market value, enough to grab and keep my attention, a man who has slept with, more 9s and 10s than the average man. Now, lately, Devin had been getting lazy about going to the gym, which is why I got her a personal trainer, who is a female, by the way, right? Father Time is undefeated, guys. We all know this, and I told her straight up, listen, you don't understand how lucky you are to have this body at your age, but if you don't start hitting the gym on the regular, that's going to change very, very quickly, and when that happens, I'm out the door. I told her this straight up. So far, the personal trainers paid big dividends, and if you're a $12 patron, you will see these dividends in real time. Anyway, so Dev hit the genetic lottery as far as her body's concerned, and Father Time seems to be giving her a little more time. But eventually, he's going to come around and collect that debt, as he does with all women. But women who are average to below average looking in the face can have any man they want if they just keep their bodies tight. That's it. So now you guys are probably asking, Donovan, what does a woman's body have to do with being an educational fraud? I'm glad you asked. To get and to stay into shape, to get into and stay in shape is not easy, especially for women. And that's exactly why feminism and this jacked up Western culture keeps pushing the myth of the woman who is hot because she's educated down our throats. You want to know why they keep pushing that down our throats? Because education is easy. That's right, guys. I said it. Education in America is easy, especially for women. How do I know it's easy? Simple. Because 67% of college students are women, and women never do what's hard. When's the last time we ever heard of a female in this part of the world take the road less traveled and do something that was more difficult? Never. This is why there are far more women who are sluts than women who are virgins until they're married. Because being a slut is easy. Abstaining from sex is hard. Let me take about 15 seconds here to quickly pay the bills here, guys. Please, gentlemen, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your family, tell anybody you know about my channel. I would appreciate that very, very much. Also, sign up for my newsletter at donovansharpe.com/newsletter. Again, that's donovansharpe.com/newsletter. I'm putting it in the chat right now. And if you want exclusive content that is not found here on YouTube, sign up for my Patreon. Later today, I'm releasing a video entitled 7 Ways You Are Unknowingly Killing Your Woman's Attraction to You. Again, that is 7 ways you are unknowingly killing your woman's attraction to you. So go to patreon.com/DonovanSharpe. I'm putting that in the chat as well. If you want to contribute to the show, you can do that at streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe and the number 1, or you can do that via Super Chat. Shout out to Charles Caballero with the $5 Super Chat. Says Happy Memorial Day, sir. I appreciate that. Again, Super Chat, Patreon, streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe. If you donate through the Streamlabs link, I get 100% of the contribution. Otherwise, I don't care. Donate through Super Chat. They take 30% if you want more of your money to come to the towers. Streamlabs.com/DonovanSharpe and the number 1. Okay, let's get back to it. Girls do what's hard. Women do what's hard. This is why there are more fat girls than fit girls. Because getting fat is easy. Getting fit is hard. Think about this, guys. Just think about this for a second. 2 out of every 3 college students are female. That should tell you all you need to know about why so many chicks want to go to college. It is one giant 4-year orgy in a group of buildings they like to call a campus, where the education curriculum is quite literally a review of your last 2 years in high school. You complete that, you get a certificate that says you're educated. Easy peasy. Now, wait a minute, Donovan. If someone gets a college degree, they put in the work. Negative. Getting a bachelor's degree is easy. That's why 2 out of 3 people who get 4-year degrees are women. Seriously, like really just take a second and think about this. think about your interactions with educated women. Just really think about it. Most would answer like honestly, have you ever thought about your interactions with women? No, of course. Most of you are going to say no, right? Because if you did, you would know that educated women are every bit as vapid, every bit as dumb, every bit as useless, right? Every bit as solipsistic as the girl from the trailer park who works at Burger King. There's no intelligence difference there, guys. One has a certificate, the other does not. But both are stupid. They're both promiscuous. I mean, think about the conversations you've had with educated women in their 20s and 30s. They're all stupid. Now, some people might catch wind of this episode, and they're probably laughing. Right? The feminists, the male and female elite who live out in Silicon Valley, they're probably condescendingly chuckling and saying, "Oh, this guy is so lost. He knows nothing about gender equality." And I would expect that because of the college statistics out there. They love to point to that stuff. But let's take a look at the professions that really matter. The professions that take post-secondary education and careers that require critical thinking skills and deductive reasoning in a stressful environment. Let's go down the list. 65% of all physicians, doctors, are men. 74% of all lawyers, all attorneys, men. 74% of all dentists, men. 70% of engineers are men, and over 80% of engineering students are men. 81% of surgeons are men. 96% of all commercial pilots. That's right. We got a missile and 2 grenades between our legs. And I don't think I have ever seen or heard of a female fighter pilot other than the mythical Captain Marvel. Guys, I grew up on military bases. I'm here. Listen, I've gone to more air shows than any. I can promise. I've been in more cockpits than all of you guys combined times 20. Of that, I'm certain. Guys, I have sat in every cockpit of every cargo, every fighter plane, every fueling plane, every helicopter, every chopper imaginable at least a half a dozen times each. And I have never, ever seen a female pilot in any of them. Never seen a female F-22 Raptor pilot. Never seen a female F-16 pilot. Never seen a female pilot a MiG-28, an F-18 Hornet, an A-10 Thunderbolt, the B-52 stealth bomber, the SR-71 Blackbird spy plane. Never seen a female in the cockpit of a cargo or a fueling plane. Never seen a female in a KC-10, a DC-10, a C-130, a C-141, a C-5, or a C-17. Never seen it. Never seen a female pilot for the Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels, not even as a publicity stunt. Or you would think that they would do one as a publicity stunt, right? Maybe they have a guy in there wearing a wig. There's Cheryl, the first ever Thunderbird pilot. So when you have a health issue, a serious health issue, or your freedom is hanging in the balance, or you need a root canal before half your jaw falls off, or you need a lung transplant, or if you need a skyscraper built, or if you need to be flown in a steel tube in excess of 550 miles an hour, 35,000 feet in the air for hours at a time, who do we turn to in situations like this? I can tell you who we don't turn to. We don't turn to all these educated women out here running around with their fraudulent 4-year degrees. Let me ask you a question. Would you feel comfortable with a woman giving you triple bypass surgery to save your life like she does on Grey's Anatomy? Would you feel better if you looked into the cockpit of your Delta Airlines Airbus 318 and saw a woman sitting there? Of course you wouldn't. And women would answer exactly the same way if they're being honest. All studying is, guys, it's just memorizing. This is what you do to get a 4-year degree. You regurgitate what you read and what you see. That's easy. This is why women excel at it, because it's easy. Women excel at what's easy. But when you have to come up with an effective design to build a bridge over a body of water where the barometric pressure changes by the season, and figure out a way to do it within a certain budget in terms of dollars, that's where women drop out. When a patient goes into cardiac arrest during heart surgery, and you have to use your training to think your way out of the situation, number one, save the patient's life and preserve their quality of life all at the same time, women do not excel in this area. When the prosecution shows a video of your client entering the building that the victim was killed in, and you have to come up with a creative defense and find a case where the defendant was acquitted under the same circumstances, marry that with case law and sell it to the jury to get your client off, that's where women fail. Women act like having a degree automatically makes them a higher class of people, and that is simply not true. And the reason for that is because a college degree in this day and age is fraudulent, and proof of that is all around us, as women are literally as dumb and as useless as they have ever been in human history. Education does not equal intelligence. Women think that if they get a college degree, then they're entitled to having a doctor or a lawyer or a surgeon or an engineer as a husband. And they are dead wrong. It's a lot harder to stay in shape, be feminine, and submit to a man than it is to get a useless fucking degree. And this is why these fat, lazy women all rush to college, so that they can avoid doing something that actually challenges them, which will actually catch the attention of men. I don't give a shit about your 1600 SAT score. Eat under 1600 calories a day, and then I'll be impressed. I don't care about your fake educational participation award, otherwise known as a bachelor's degree. I don't care about the fact that you graduated in the top 10% of your class. You want to impress me? Get under 10% body fat, and then we can talk. Education is a fraudulent currency that women have tried to use to say, look at me. I'm a quality woman because I have a 4-year degree and I deserve the best men out there. Bitch, you've had 3 abortions. You fucked your mom's boyfriend when you were 15. All you deserve is ass to mouth and an Uber ride home, and you should thank your lucky fucking stars that you even get that from guys like me. The only reason guys like me text girls like you is because we're horny and you're the only ones left in our pipelines. It ain't got nothing to do with your 4-year degree. We know you're easy. We know that you're an easy lay. That's why we mess with you guys. A woman who says, I have a degree, dude, she is a fraud and she knows it. She uses her fake educational certificate as an excuse not to improve herself in ways that actually matter to men of value. Don't come at me with this, well, I know of a guy who is an engineer who's married to a fat woman. He's not a man of value. I don't care how much he makes. Just because he makes $100,000 a year does not mean he's a man of value. We couldn't care less if you have a college degree. What's that going to do for us? Well, it means more money in the household. Sweetie, I can make my own money. Well, you can say you have an educated woman. Sweetheart, I am educated. Well, she can bring intelligence and insightfulness into a relationship. Sweetie, I have all of the intelligence and insightfulness I need in me. What I need is a woman who looks good, cooks good, acts like a woman, and stays in pocket. That's it. All that other stuff is just more baggage. If a woman can have an intelligent conversation, great. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but it's not a requirement. That is simply an added bonus. And by the way, a woman who knows how to be a woman knows how to have intelligent conversations by virtue of her very femininity in the first place. The bottom line, guys, is that a woman with a 4-year degree brings not 1 ounce of value to your life. A woman with a 4-year degree is a woman who's been fucked by at least 100 guys, many of them at the same time, been blackout drunk at least a dozen times, been pregnant at least once, probably had an abortion or 2, had a train run on them, been involved in at least 1 orgy with her best friend, and increased her alcohol tolerance, which makes them expensive dates. This is why the overwhelming majority of vocations that save lives, vocations that change the world, occupations that improve the quality and longevity of life are occupied by men. Not women who spent 4 years learning to suck dick, do tequila shots, and line of cocaine simultaneously. Put them all in an office somewhere and give them tasks that don't matter. That's where they belong. It is Monday, May 27th, on the 456th edition of TSR Live. Happy Memorial Day to you guys. Hope you guys are having a safe Memorial Day weekend. Salute to all veterans out there who protect our freedoms. My father, my brother, Miami J, frequent TSR call-in. He likes to call into the show every once in a while. All of you guys are the reason I'm able to make a living running off at the mouth. Dude, I watched the Monaco Grand Prix, the Indianapolis 500, and most of the Coca-Cola 600 yesterday. It's kind of a tradition of mine, a little over 1,100 miles of racing. Nothing more American than that. The Indy 500 was unbelievable. I loved it. Again, guys, like, comment, subscribe, sign up for my newsletter, become a patron if you want more. Put that in the chat. Guys, I'm about to talk about strip club game. How to get a strip club on lock, but I'm not going to do that here because it is not YouTube friendly, not even close. So, if you want to listen to the rest of the show, go to donovansharpe.com/live. Again, that's donovansharpe.com/live to watch and listen to the rest of the show, which is most definitely not YouTube friendly. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.